A lot of it was just architectural detail. The architect just wanted to see red steel in the building, which we then painted. So it added some cost, but it added some, some architectural feature. But it's not necessary unless you have like a really long span over an open area below or something like that. So in the SIP process, you basically get your plans. You take your plans to your manufacturer. Again, I mentioned we use Transcon Steel in Georgetown. They come back with a set of plans. The architect looks over, yeah, this looks good. This looks like how we want to do it. And they come with the window door openings already cut out. Then they stack them up, number them, come out with a crane, or although if the panels are light enough, they don't even need a crane. And they're just erected, fastened together. I already mentioned about the wiring is pretty easy to deal with. Advantages of this method is less of any SIPS panel, less job site waste. You don't need as many subcontractors because your insulation basically eliminates a step of your insulation subcontractor because your framing and insulation all happen together. And the building goes up in days instead of weeks. Although with ours, with the steel infrastructure, it was weeks instead of months. And then this is the finished house. As you can see, we had a lot of glass in the house. Those are all sliding doors, operating sliding doors, letting in lots of light. A lot of natural daylighting in this house. You walk inside in the daytime, and it's very well lit. Here's another picture of it from the backyard. You can go back a sec. That's an endless pool that they have out here, and that's a kind of pool where it's small, but the water flows constantly, so it's swimming against the current. Austin Green Building said that was a green feature, so I guess it is. Anyway, and then here's another picture of the upstairs. On this side of the house, it was mostly cedar siding. You can see a little bit over here on the right-hand side of the steel panels. And again, you can see we have a whole lot of light coming in upstairs also. And then here's a picture of the front of the house. The siding there, we had like I think 5 different kinds of siding on this project. You can see the stone, again the steel panels, 2 different colors of steel. On the right-hand side where that open window is, that's a little balcony off the master bedroom. Yes, sir.
Hey, one thing, since I was kind of the project manager on this job, I wanted to mention about a question a lot of people have with metal SIP panels is they want to know how you attach siding to it because the studs are actually made out of metal, and they wonder if there's an easy way to do it. And with this same company that we got these SIPs from, sells a line of fasteners that you can just shoot out of a nail gun. So it's just like wood framing. You can shoot any kind of, or screws, special screws that go right to the framing members, so you don't have to have a layer in between the framing and whatever kind of siding that you use. So occasionally people will ask you if that's an efficient way to build because of that problem. But apparently the technology is caught up now, and you can side it just like you would a wood building. So anyway.
Yeah, that's a good point. They have screws with washers on them for your house wrap. They have basically a screw for any kind of siding or adding wood or anything you want to do. Here's a picture of the interior. You can see on the floor of this house. Oh, well, go back a second. The tall white panels on the left, that's in the stairway on the inside. That's 2 layers with airspace in between of a product called Polygal. It's a polycarbonate panel. So this allows a lot of daylighting in the inside, which you see on the next picture, but it also insulates as well as a 2x4 wall with insulation in it. So as you see on the inside, those panels let in a whole lot of natural light. And at night, they look really cool from the street because they're all lit up from the inside. So that's a way to do it. Go back a sec. The floor, I want to mention this real quick. This floor is when we poured the floor, it's concrete slab. That's just the basic slab you're seeing. At the very end on the last trowel, we got a recycled glass from the city of Austin that's tumbled, several different colors. And and it was just tumbled in little pieces like this, and it was troweled in. And then we did a diamond polish and put a sealer on it, so it gives it kind of this, it doesn't show up that well here, but it has this kind of terrazzo look to it, so it makes a really cool looking floor with free materials. Here's the homeowner, Paul, walking down the stairs. That just shows the opening from below. This is the screen porch looking to the inside. This is, you can see that we have an indoor-outdoor fireplace there back to back, and then the chase going up. And that's the panels going to the outside. This is the deck that runs all along the back side of the house. You can see a little bit down here below. We have a green roof there, with a deck in the middle surrounded around the edges by plantings of various plants that don't demand a lot of water. So we have a green roof up there. And go back.
Oh, back?
Back.
Sorry.
That's moisture shield decking. It is that's the composite. They actually have a booth out here, and if you want to use a composite decking, this is made out of sawdust and recycled plastic. And we found moisture shield to be the most reliable of all the decks. And I saw coming in that they have a booth here. Go ahead.
Next.
Yeah. Next, we're going to talk about insulated concrete forms. You've seen some out here in one of the booths where they have foam panels that are connected by steel, and you pour concrete in the middle. We use one called Rostra. This is made out of recycled polystyrene, which is basically coffee cups and the packing material you get when you buy your stereo. And it's sprayed with liquid concrete, and it forms this hollow block. And here's a piece of it right there. Shannon will show you. It comes in panels about 6 foot long, 15 inches high, and it's got these channels cut in it, and you'll see why in a minute.
This is kind of a degraded piece, but
It's pretty degraded, yeah, it's been hanging around for a while. But
how deep?
and so that's what they look like stacked up.
They stack them like this, so it's about, what's that, 11 inches?
15,
Really?
yeah. It's supposed to be 15.
I'm not very
Yeah,
accurate.
they're 6 feet long, so they're modular, and you basically just go to the next bit. You stack them up just like Legos. You spray, this one you can't see the foam, you spray a little bit of just foam out of a can. They get these big canisters of it and stack them up. And you can get, we went 2 stories high on one of the additions that we did that you'll see in a minute. This shows the steel grid inside the holes and in between, horizontally and vertically, every 15 inches, you can see on the left, you get a steel and concrete grid because you drop rebar down in them, and then pour, when you pour the concrete, we use a kind of a wetter mix than normal and put pea gravel in it so that it flows real well. It'll flow down and fill up all the channels. So you can see what this picture on the right, it shows the concrete infrastructure. All the rostra has been peeled off of it. So as you can see, that makes a really strong wall. It's guaranteed to withstand 180 mile-an-hour winds. So I don't know if if a hurricane ever does come this far, we wouldn't have to. And a lot of tornadoes. I mean, that will withstand one of the lower categories of tornadoes. It's virtually fireproof. 2,000 degree fire for 2 hours will burn less than an inch into it. We took a plumber's torch on the first job we did just to see. The plumber was worried, I'm not going to run my torch around this stuff, what it'll do. We put that torch on it with that blue flame, held it on for a minute, didn't even see any smoke. And he's like, oh, well, okay. So very high insulation value. We've got different numbers on it, but they come 10 inches thick. And you probably figure at least R25 or 30 on it. There's no toxic outgassing at all. Very good insulation, energy saving. They're really great for sound. You really don't get a lot of sound outside. If you live on a busy highway, this would be a great